Hello ladies and germs, we're in StudioQ once again, right here on Bent TV on Channel 31. Nice to have your company. And Mark and Mark are here on the couch with me again. Hey guys, how you going?
How are you?
And
it's getting a bit too familiar, isn't it?
It is. Move away from me, please. I don't know where you've been. This season we're going to do a bit of a media watch because I think the mainstream media need to be watched, if you'll pardon me. And we're going to take a look at what some of the current affairs programs and other programs of that nature on the commercial networks have been saying about our community. And we had, to start off, a month or so back now, early June I think it was, Today Tonight, actually took a look. I will confirm all this is personal opinion, not that of Channel 31 or Bent TV. They covered that issue that's come up recently about the gay books aimed at children, and there was actually there is a childcare centre in Sydney under the Marrickville Local Council who has actually taken these books on as part of the curricula. And Today Tonight ran a story on it, and
I saw the story.
Yeah,
I saw the story.
Yeah. Here's some of the comments that child psychologist John Irvine made in relation to these books and their effect on the toddlers.
Let's not impose our adult agenda because we're more mixed up than they are by a long shot. 3-year-olds are not ready for that sort of information. The best things to talk to kids about are the questions they're asking. If they're not asking that question, they won't understand the answer.
So, Dr. John Irvine, child psychologist, is he got it right there, do you think? I mean, should we not be telling kids, unless they ask a specific question, should we not be teaching them anything?
Yeah, but don't kids ask questions, and aren't kids curious about all sorts of stuff? And I think that if you start when they're young, if you answer those type of questions, that as they get older, they'll tolerate or they'll accept gay issues. And, you know, like when I was a kid growing up, from the time I went to primary school or whatever, I was always called a poof. I was bashed up. And I didn't even know what a poofter was until, well, puberty.
Yeah.
And then, you know, I didn't even know whether, you know, that's what I wanted to be or whatever. But all of these kids at school, they knew that I was a poofter, and I was persecuted right up through high school until I left school. Yeah. And I think that these books, you know, get the message that it's out there that it's okay to have two mums or two dads. Yeah. And, you know, as these kids grow up, they're not going to persecute other kids at school for being gay.
Yes. Well, I noticed that Dr. Irvine there said, you know, we as adults are far more screwed up than kids are, but is it because he wasn't exposed to such tolerant education that he is screwed up? You know, kids are pure when they're born. We do put all that crap onto them, but isn't it better to teach toleration than...
Society's going to put all that crap on them anyway. I mean, if you can keep kids naive for so long, but if you introduce them to, say, that there are, you know, two mums or two dads out there, then they're going to be grown up more tolerant.
Exactly. I mean, some of those kids, I think it's, once again, a fundamental misunderstanding by these people, whether they're child psychologists, educators, whatever, of what makes someone gay. I mean, there will be, it's a fact, there will be a certain percentage of those kids in those preschools that are gay and grow up gay.
Yeah, sure.
They don't just become gay later, they are at that age. I mean, I knew from a bloody early age, even though I couldn't put my finger on what it was, I knew. And you obviously...
My parents were both straight. When I grew up, having straight parents didn't turn me straight.
That's exactly my point. How many of us, like my circle of friends, my circle of gay friends, they were all from the burbs, from straight households. There were no positive gay influences at all. They were still gay. It's in here.
Yeah,
it's not.
Of course it is. So you can't be influenced. No. You know.
Adopt the torch song trilogy type thing and adopt a gay kid. No. It sorts it all out.
I think we should get a bit closer to home, and we had an opportunity recently to have a chat to some guys firsthand about a gay couple who adopted a child and all this business. We thought we'd have a chat to them and see exactly what they thought about such issues as these books and wider acceptance. So here's their story.
We're here with Patrick and Michael, who have just become proud parents of a little baby girl, and we're just going to chat to them about the whole process of having the baby, what issues they've faced, and also living in a small country town, the reaction from other people in the town. So Patrick and Michael, thanks for coming on.
No worries, mate.
How has it been having a baby?
Oh, wonderful.
Life altering.
Yeah.
It has. Yeah.
You used to do foster parenting, didn't you?
Yeah.
Yeah. How long did you do that for?
Probably 2 years. And I mean, the reason we got into that was probably more the fact that as a same-sex couple, not thinking that we'd be able to have the opportunity to have our own child, there's plenty of children out there who need like a good family environment.
What type of kids would you get?
Usually teens, don't they?
Usually teens and generally girls, because we were two guys. And likewise now we've got another girl, but that was natured.
How did the girls handle two guys?
Not a problem at all. It was more, we were more like friends than like the parent sort of role.
Like big brothers sort of things.
And like normal children, they play one off against the other, you know, good cop, bad cop. I predominantly did more of the hands-on caring just because of our working routine. And at that time I had a shop, and yeah, it worked.
Labour.
But it worked well, and I mean, it was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of children out there who just need a little bit of guidance, you know, a safe environment. And I suppose the other aspect that, you know, being a same-sex couple, you know, you can put a whole different aspect into the child's life, you know, a little bit of education and knowledge, and show them that it's actually okay. I mean, when they're sort of in their development stages, you know, boys or girls, just to have good role models, I suppose. And, you know, we've got a lot of love to give, and thought that, you know, there's kids out there who are screaming for it, you know, and happy.
The hardest part about it, I found, was actually they'd come, you'd know what background they'd been in. Like one girl we had, probably can't say too much about her, but, you know, she was basically in the middle of a lot of children, and she was basically the babysitter for all of the rest of the kids.
Oh, right, so she was now an adult rather than a kid herself?
Well, she was still a kid, but she was made to be an adult, and she'd come to us with rings under her eyes, you know, so tired, and go home, and she'd get depressed the last night she was there because she knew she had to go home the next morning. So, and that was really hard, but...
I suppose from the other aspect too, that we were, although we were a safe haven, we were also fun. Like it was a little bit of escapism from the reality. And at the end of the day, if that gives a child, you know, a couple of hours of a decent night's sleep and somewhere that they can refocus, as opposed to saying, I can't deal with it and I need an out. And, you know, there's drugs and alcohol and sex and all that sort of stuff. So we were fortunate she was a good kid.
So you met Michaela's mum, and so how did
sort of she had been a customer of mine, and it was she just happened to be, I mean, how do you say, coincidence or however, she happened to be in my shop at the time that the phone call came through from their foster care agency saying that the program wasn't there. And she sort of saw my response, and I sort of got off the phone and was a little bit kind of disheartened about the whole thing, that, you know, we'd been strung along, had enjoyed the time, hadn't had the communication, and she sort of said, well, I'm happy to have a child for you if that's where you want to go. Like, wouldn't it be easier to have, you know? And that's then when the discussion came in. And
okay, and so how did you both felt the same way? You were quite happy to do that?
I'm from a big family anyway. I'm the youngest of 6, but I've got lots of nephews and nieces, so I help raise them. But yeah, I've always wanted to sort of contribute to the family, and being gay, unless there's a miracle that could happen. That's not going to happen. But then this miracle came along, and
she is, created out of love, as a gift, I suppose. And I mean, there's nothing wrong with knowing that you're a gift. A gift from God or a gift from wherever, and it's.
So it's not a case of you didn't pay for anything. You didn't have to pay the mother.
No.
So during the whole pregnancy, you had a lot to do with the mother?
Yep, hands-on. I've had family tell me that you're going to be amazed on the emotion and the feeling when you're holding the child and at the birth.
That was amazing.
So you were both there when the baby was born?
Yep. Incredible.
Who cut the cord?
My stepsister, actually.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, so you had more that...
Well, we wanted her to have a female, someone that she could always turn to, because I mean, there's going to be questions she's going to have that we have no idea about. But my stepsister's a beautiful person, and we just thought she'd be really good for that job. And
and that's just another part of creating a bond.
Yeah.
Like she'll grow with us, but she'll also have her auntie as well. Yeah, and everyone sort of said, birth is really scary and all that sort of stuff.
And so was it? Or?
Well, it happened so quickly.
59 minutes, the labour went.
That's short, isn't
Yeah.
it?
It is short.
She had a very good pregnancy.
No painkillers, not even a Panadol.
Yep,
the
she
whole
just
labour.
made it through the meditation and through the pregnancy, which is probably why she's so
Placid.
chilled out.
So do you believe that sort of stuff does help during pregnancy?
I think so. I mean, it's the baby being part of the mother.
The mother being happy.
Yeah, if the mother's stressed, the baby's going to pick up on that. We find now if we're stressed, she'll pick up on that. And sometimes it's easier to put her down, walk away, and then come back. The old count to 10 and start again sort of thing. The hospital were fantastic. I mean, they knew the dynamics, and we didn't necessarily know what to expect. They put us into a birthing suite. Michael's stepmother and stepsister were there, and after the baby was born, we actually all stayed there the night. Well, Michael and myself and the mother and the baby all stayed there. So the hospital was extremely accommodating as far as that went, which just added to the experience. It was, it's not a case of there was.
So making you feel more a part of it.
Absolutely. And from the moment we got home, the doorbell and the phones didn't stop for about 2 weeks. So, which was a little bit exhausting, settling a new baby and dealing with all that dynamics. But it was also fantastic to see that support that we got from some people that we were expecting and from completely different people as well. So
is this family and friends?
Family, friends, local people, some that we knew.
What's the reaction like from the town people? Because what's the population in?
About 1900.
Yeah.
Okay, so it's pretty small.
It's pretty small. People knew the baby was coming. They'd seen the mother with us, and that created a little wave as it would. But 99% supportive. So we've been very, very lucky as far as that goes. It's just been a positive experience.
So you haven't really experienced any negative?
Not us directly. There have been comments in the background made to other family members that, religious aspects, that it's not right that, 2 men have a child and, but I think they're people who already have issues of same-sex couples, irrelevant of children. Gender and sexuality doesn't, create,
Because really it's based on happiness, and if there's happiness in a relationship and love, then what more could you want?
It's a good environment to bring a child into. A couple of gay friends have sort of said, why would you want to go and spend your money, doing all of that?
Yeah, that's what I think. That I'm not. Don't get the wrong idea. It's just that I think I wouldn't do that.
It was a conscious lifestyle decision. I mean, being gay isn't a lifestyle decision, but having a child is. And it was certainly one, when the option arose, it was one that was made very easily with a great deal of thought, if that makes sense. Knowing that, for the next 20 years, or, for the rest of our lives now, she's part of it.
I wanted to ask you, if you visit other gay friends or whatever, how do they react to, obviously you're going to be like very baby sort of conversation oriented, and what are they like?
It has been generally a good response, but some gay friends that we've got have been in marriage situations where they've got children, so that aspect has been good. Whereas we've got a couple of friends who, don't even bring the child near me, like come back when she's 18, not interested. That whole aspect, whether it's too much in their face, I'm not sure. There's been, mixed positive and negative in regards to that. Why would you want to have a child? Is it for the money? Is it so you've got someone to look after you when you're older?
So why did you want to have a baby? Is it something that you think sort of completes you, or?
Not so much complete, just the fact that we've got love there that we were giving to foster children anyway.
So why not give it to your own?
Why not give it to,
Yep.
And we've still got plenty of love there, so if it comes up that we offered a child again in fostering, once this one's a little older, then we'll jump at the opportunity for that too, because there's plenty of it there. So.
Are you involved in any sort of parenting groups?
Through the local, well, I call her the district nurse, but it's the child maternal welfare nurse. She's got together with a lot of the new mothers in town, and sort of asked if we were interested in, going to a new mothers group, which brought up
and then they repeat it, they actually catch themselves and say, oh, I should say parents group.
Yeah, you've got to be politically correct. So we sort of tagged it, we said, well, yes, we're interested, and then we got an invitation to the new parents group. So it was interesting, even with that aspect in regards to Michaela, this nurse had been doing it for 30 years and had not necessarily, had dealt with same-sex couple, but it had been on the female side. The aspect when she first arrived and Michaela's mother was still here, she was sort of taken back a little bit of, oh my God, how do I deal with this? Created a little bit of controversy, and we, discussed it as adults and ironed that out. And then now she's right with us as far as support, and if there's anything I can do and put you in touch with groups and involve you with all the local parents. So I suppose the positive aspect from that is that now that we're in touch with these new parents and the children, these children are the same age as Michaela and they're going to grow up together. So being in a small town, the positive thing is that these kids are going to know Michaela has two dads, and they're in the group. There might be a single mother or there might be a separated family. So knowledge is power. We've got local friends in town who have children, and these young children have already asked the question about us, and what the situation is. and it's all been clarified. They know who we are. Well, the parents firstly need to see that it's actually an okay situation. You can't force someone to like you. They either like us or they don't. But the children, how they interact with each other, you actually get taught from your parents. So how the parents...
Yeah, of course, it's the parents' attitude that rubs off on a child. So, all right, guys. Well, thanks for talking to us, and yeah.
Thanks for letting us share. Yeah.
Hopefully, we'll get some people to ask questions or to see things differently. So, yeah. Thanks very much.
No problem.
Patrick and Michael.
It's a pleasure.
If you would like any more information or support on gay parenting, go to www.maybebaby.org.au or drop us a line at feedback@bentv.org.au.
Do you enjoy Bent TV? Do you watch it regularly? Or do you sometimes feel just watching isn't quite enough? Well, then join us on the other side of the screen and volunteer for Bent TV. Help us make queer TV and have lots of fun on the way. You could work behind the camera on location or in the studio. Work with the gallery crew as a vision mixer, director, videotape operator or audio engineer. Make great friends and become part of the Bent TV family. They help bring interesting people and fun events into the homes of Melbourne. We want you.
If you'd like to get involved with Bent TV, give us a call on 9517 0125 or drop us an email to feedback@benttv.org.au. Leave us your contact details. We'll get in touch with you and advise you the time, date and location of our next shoot. If you don't have any experience, don't let that put you off, as all training will be provided. We hope to see you soon at the studio.
Will you be there?
Electric wire energy fuels the neon night. Naked glass faces dancing in the light. I wanna be what you want from me. Lips, kiss and nothing where you want to be. One day the electronic metropolis will burn in a fire. Times Square, perfect video, dream scene. Ride the taxi and the lights turn green. Uptown going downtown, it's a scene. Ride the limousine and the lights turn green, you know what I mean. Big fun, New York, you're having a good time. Big fun, New York, trying so hard to have nothing on your mind. In this town we all wear a masquerade mask. So take your love and look into my eyes tonight, that's your task. In a town where all that glitters is gold, darling, how many lies do you think get told? Just take my hand tonight, and everything will be